From time to time, we encounter moments when we have to have a very difficult conversation with someone. A conversation where we feel there's really no way for both parties to come out feeling pleased or happy or connected with each other. Have you had a moment like that in recent times? So what I want to do is offer up an example to you from this movie, Up in the Air, of a situation where George Clooney, the main actor in this film, is thrust into a role where he is a restructuring expert. He's coming into companies and helping, among other things, do the painful job of helping them execute layoffs in the company. And in this scene, you'll see him in action with one of his junior colleagues, someone who's just recently joined the firm that he's part of to perform that kind of service for their clients. And you'll see them go through the acts of having conversations, to tell people that this is going to be their last day on the job, painfully so. Why don't you watch this clip and then let's come back and talk some more.
You and I are sitting here today because this will be your last week of employment at this company.
Why me?
What am I supposed to do now?
Am I supposed to feel better that I'm not the only one losing my job?
This is ridiculous. I have been a fine employee for over 10 years, and this is the way you treat me.
How you sleep at night, man? Huh? How's your family? They sleeping well at night? Electricity still on? Heat still on? Refrigerator full of food? Gas tank full of gas? Going Chuck E. Cheese this weekend or something? Not me. No, my kids, we're not going to do anything.
What do you suggest I tell them?
Perhaps you're underestimating the positive effect that your career transition can have on your children.
The positive effect? Make about 90 grand a year now. Unemployment is what, $250 a week? Is that one of your positive effects? Well, we'll get to be cozier because I'm not going to be able to pay my mortgage on my house, so maybe we can move into a nice fucking one-bedroom apartment somewhere. And I guess without benefits, I'll be able to hold my daughter as she, suffers from her asthma that I won't be able to afford the medication for.
Well, tests have shown that children under moderate trauma have a tendency to apply themselves academically as a method of coping.
Go fuck yourself. That's what my kids will think.
Your children's admiration is important to you?
Yeah, it was.
Well, I doubt they ever admired you, Bob.
Hey, asshole, aren't you supposed to be consoling me?
I'm not a shrink, Bob. I'm a wake-up call. You know why kids love athletes?
I don't know, because they screw lingerie models.
No, that's why we love athletes. Kids love athletes because they follow their dreams.
Well, I can't dunk.
No, but you can cook.
What are you talking about?
Your resume says that you minored in French culinary arts. Most students, they're working the fryer at KFC, but you bust tables at Il Picatore to support yourself. And then you get out of college, and you come and you work here. How much did they first pay you to give up on your dreams?
27 grand a year.
And when were you going to stop and come back and do what makes you happy?
Good question.
I see guys who work at the same company for their entire lives, guys exactly like you. They clock in, they clock out, and they never have a moment of happiness. You have an opportunity here, Bob. This is a rebirth. Now, if not for you, do it for your children.
So here's what I saw. In her case, she was using logic. She was trying to persuade on the basis of science and data and facts, and it didn't work. Because logical persuasion, although it's one of those techniques and tools that we learn throughout life, to use science, to use data, to use facts, to use logic, it doesn't always work. And what did George Clooney do? Ultimately, he appealed to this person's values, didn't he? One was the value of how he felt that this person wanted to have his kids look up at him, see him as, as a hero, as somebody they admired. And the second was this value of how he had a certain passion for cooking, which hadn't had any chance of being channeled and expressed and practiced in his career and his life so far. And he got there by being inquisitive and curious, wanting to learn a little bit about him, by actually looking at his resume, not just at the official sort of stuff that he'd done professionally or academically, but also at his hobbies, at his passions. And tuning in when the gentleman asked, something about how do you think my kids are going to take it, and sensing from that it was a very important thing for him, his relationship with his kids and his desire to want to be a good father to them. And then by tuning into that, he was able to appeal to his values. And so I want to offer up to you that there are times in our lives when we are seeking to influence people, and perhaps the right approach there may not be purely just logic, marshalling up all the facts and the data we can, but it might be to be curious and be mindful and inquisitive about who they are and what they stand for and what are some of the passions and things they value, and then see if there's a way for us to tell a story, even a story which is sometimes as harsh on the objective front as I'm going to be firing you today, but actually seek to tell the story in a form that might make it very compelling, perhaps even in some ways attractive for them, because you've been able to connect the story to their passions, to their values. Where are opportunities in your life where you might do the same?